Hey everyone, it's me, Normock Bell. I remember in my 300th video special, not only that, but it was also the 35th anniversary. I said to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Tom's Friends, I'm going to do a top 10 worst and best Tom's Friends episodes. Well, here it is. I'm going to start off with the top 10 worst Tom's Friends episodes, then I'll do the best Tom's Friends episodes. Okay, let's get things started. Don't be silly, Billy. This episode I did not like. The plot of this episode was about Billy ignoring Thomas and keep on calling him a bossy engine throughout the episode, and he calls him a bossy engine 5 times.
It wastes coal and water. Billy puffed and huffed. And first, you must take on enough coal and water for a busy day, added Thomas. Thomas, huffed Billy, stop telling me what to do. You are a very bossy engine. Don't tell me what to do, Thomas, huffed Billy. You are a very bossy engine. And you still haven't taken on coal and water. Stop telling me what to do, Thomas, huffed Billy. You are a very bossy engine. And you still haven't taken on coal and water. Stop telling me what to do, Thomas, huffed Billy. You are a very, very bossy engine. Now, Thomas, huffed Billy, stop telling me what to do. You are a very bossy engine.
That line was repeated 5 times throughout the episode. I just hated Billy in this episode, and he finally gets what he deserves when he runs out of coal and water. Anyways, the top half finally realized that Billy caused trouble, so he scrapped him, and then in season 13, he bring in Charlie, his twin brother. So good riddance. Thomas, Emily, and the snowplow. You know, Emily was a nice engine in season 7. Then in the CGI series, she went back to her nice self, but throughout season 8 through 12, she was just a jerk. And this proves her point in this episode. Same thing at number 2. Number 3. We'll get to that soon. Anyways, Emily needs to tell Thomas he needs to get his snowplow fitted. But since Emily kept on bossing Thomas around, Thomas just ignored Emily.
You must go and get your snowplow fitted, she cried.
Bother snowplows, said Thomas, and bother Emily. Anyway, the weather is perfectly fine.
Now, I'm siding with Thomas on this because Emily deserves it for bossing Thomas around near the beginning of the episode. Anyway, since Thomas didn't listen to Emily, he then gets stuck in the snow. So Tom Hat was then mad at Emily and Thomas, and so Thomas then got his snowplow fitted. This episode I did not like when I first watched this, and I still hated it for now. Creaky, cranky. Ugh. Now, the plot of this episode was about Thomas trying to prove Cranky that he can't lift heavy stuff. So Thomas takes James and Henry's cargo trucks, or whatever they are, and Thomas still thinks Cranky is creaky cranky, and Cranky replies by saying he's still Tiny Thomas. Thomas doesn't like being called that, so he asks Cranky to lift him, but since Thomas is too heavy, he ends up breaking Cranky's cable things. This episode I did not like. The reason why is because Thomas was a complete idiot in this episode, and he is smart in other episodes. To make things worse, this was the first episode of season 13. Whatever. Let's just get on to the next one. Rusty saves the day. Now, there isn't that much to talk about, so I'm going to try and make this quick. Basically, this episode is about Rusty trying to fix Renee's and Scarlet's line, but since their line was so bad and damaged that Sir somehow has to close the line, and Renee's and Scarlet have to work at the quarry. Rusty was upset about this, and he wants Renee's and Scarlet to work back on, their branch line. Now, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, in season 4 and 5, Renee's and Scarloi's branch line are okay, but now in season 6, their lines are damaged. This was an incredibly boring episode, and yeah, I thought I would make this quick, so let's just get on to the next one. Up, up, and away. There isn't that much to talk about for this one too, so I'm gonna try and get this out of the way real quick. Basically, the plot of this episode is about Thomas and Percy have to take a big balloon on a flatbed, but Percy keeps on messing it up. They lose the balloon 3 times when Gordon was there, and when they took the second balloon on the flatbed and they saw a tunnel, Percy does this.
Then they came to a tunnel.
Cinders and ashes. This tunnel is too small for the big balloon. Bumpers and bumpers. We must chuck back to another tunnel.
Percy's funnel fizzed.
No, Thomas. I'm sure we can pull the big balloon through the tunnel.
Yeah, I dislike this episode, and another thing is that they made a toy based off of this. Except I like the toy and I hate the episode. So if Percy wasn't an idiot in this episode, it would have been good. What's the matter with Henry? This episode, I hated it because Thomas and Percy acts out of character in it. Basically, the plot of this episode is that Henry isn't feeling well, and Thomas and Percy thought he was being lazy. Emily is the only one who is worried about Henry, which I'm glad about. And Thomas and Percy then decide it would be a good idea if Henry should take even more trucks. And the yard manager agrees with them. Emily then helps Henry to the docks, and Thomas and Percy now feel bad for Henry. So Tom has then punished Thomas and Percy by making them take Henry's train. But Emily and Henry already take it, so Tom should have punished Thomas and Percy by making them shut in the yards all day. I find What's the Matter with Henry one of my least favorite episodes of season 7, and it's gonna remain that way. Wonky whistle. Ugh. The plot of this episode, it's about Thomas had to take like some animals in the van to like some thing, but since he was too impatient, he left without getting his whistle fixed, and now his whistle makes weird noises. The plot of this episode is stupid. Thomas's wonky whistle sound effect is stupid, and I just hate it. Now, there wasn't that much to talk about it, so I'll get it out of the way. Also, can we discuss why is Bash at the quarry? Shouldn't he be working on Misty Island with Dash and Ferdinand? Remember back at Thomas, Emily, and the Snowplow, I said there's another episode where Emily is bossy? Well, here it is. Good as Gordon. This episode, I dislike Emily in this. She was impatient throughout this whole episode. She leaves the break coach at the station. She was too impatient to wait for Bertie's passengers to come, so she stranded them there. She made Edward hurry up at the crossing, and she is even impatient to let James have like a drink of water at the water tower or something like that. Luckily, Emily then ends up getting what she deserves by running out of water. This episode, I did not like Emily in this. Not only that, but in another episode, she even admits that she doesn't like being impatient. So yeah. Fiery Flynn. Oh boy. Flynn acts like a complete idiot in this episode, which I hate. So, the emergency is that an engine's firebox is on fire, which completely doesn't make any sense. And Rocky said it was a blue engine, but Flynn doesn't get enough time to listen to what the blue engine's name was. Spoiler alert, it was Thomas. Anyways, Flynn kept on going around spraying random engines that were blue. He sprayed Edward and get his driver wet, and he sprayed Gordon and gets the Topham hat wet. This episode I did not like. Flynn finally found the engine who has his firebox on fire. It was Thomas at the diesel works, but Flynn used up all of his water on spraying random engines. I just hate this episode. I never liked it. And yeah. Before I get to number one, I'm gonna go through some dishonorable mentions. The Old Bridge. Now, I actually like this episode, but why must the main character be Scarloey? I'm not sure why. One Good Turn. Now, I know some people really want this on the best list, but I just can't put this on the best list. Mostly because the ending just basically ruins this episode. I'll explain that another time. Steamy Sodor. Oh boy, this was an extremely bad episode. Why isn't it on the list? Well, this episode was so bad and boring that I stopped watching it halfway, so I can't properly review it. Edward Strikes Out. Bad, but not bad enough to be on this list. Scarloey the Brave. This was an incredibly dumb episode. Now, I'm going to talk about some stuff before I talk about at number one. Now, I'm going to explain why stuff on this list isn't number one. With episodes like Fiery Flynn, Wonky Whistle, and Up and Away, those episodes were bad. And Wonky Whistle, everyone thinks is the worst episode ever. You guys think I would put number one. I would put Wonky Whistle at number one. Unfortunately, there was one episode so bad that it had to go at number one. Say it with me. Middle Engine. This episode was completely bad. So, Percy had to push trucks and have to pull them because Arianbird made him into a middle engine. When he gets to the coal hopper, Henry accidentally pushed him under the coal hopper thing. And Sir Top Hat thinks Percy decided to go under there. Sir Top Hat just continues on blaming engines for something that they didn't even do. Sure, he forgets engines like in Cranky Bugs and Percy gets it right, but he doesn't in this episode. Soon, James had to work at that place Arianbird were, and Arianbird made him into a middle engine. So the episode ends with James and Percy taking their trucks to the station. Now, not only this was number one on my list, it was even number one on Thomas 1, Edward 2, and Henry 3's Worst Taunts Friends list. So, you did it, guys. Middle Engine is by far one of the worst episodes ever. But anyways, if you do like some episodes, which I don't like, that's fine. These are just my opinion on them. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to turn on the post notification bell and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.